Hey everyone, I'm Kristen, the cross stitching runner, and welcome to my channel that's all about cross stitch, a little bit about my life and running and all the other good stuff. So I would like to say a big hello and welcome to any new viewers, new subscribers, and anyone who has stumbled across my channel, and welcome back to all returning viewers. So this particular episode is a bit of a special one because I'm recording this on Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday the 24th of August, and it's a special one because my Black Needle Society stitching retreat in a box has arrived in the mail today, and I've been hanging out for this box for quite a few months, and more specifically over the last few weeks, because I know that it got shipped from, I guess, its home state in America, or hometown, from where the Black Needle Society ladies are, and it had been sitting in the customs part of Illinois, Minnesota, for a little while, and it finally got here. That's what I'm trying to say. It's here. That's the most important thing and exciting thing. So I want to share with you my experiences with the stitching retreat, because it was my first international stitching retreat. And I also want to share with you some of the stitching that I've done over the last 2 weeks. And one of those stitching things include a fully finished item, or an FFO, a fully finished object. So I also have a couple of new starts and a couple of works in progress. So without further ado, I want to share with you the stitching box. So I have actually opened up the box and looked at the things before filming this, because I guess I just wanted to see what was in it, and I guess have my thoughts together a bit while I'm sharing this with you. So with the stitching box, we've got the booklet, so it gives us a description of what's inside the box and all the rest, and the contents, especially with the next thing I'm about to share with you. This is a cinnamon swirl coffee cake. So it's just got the dry ingredients inside it, and I'm sorry, the lighting is quite bright and glary. So this is meant to be a cinnamon swirl coffee cake, and I just need to add the wet ingredients of some butter, some eggs, and some milk. And I'm really looking forward to making this, and it totally now the penny's dropping for me a little bit, because the stitching retreat took place from the Thursday the 12th of August through to Sunday the 14th of August, and many of the participants were based in America, and they were all fantastic with not giving too much away about the box, because everyone was aware that it was a bit staggered with when we actually received our boxes, all because of international things. It was nothing to do with the wonderful ladies who curated this box and put it all together. And I do remember someone had posted a picture of the coffee cake, and I hadn't realised that this was actually one of the things that came in the box. But in the TV series Gilmore Girls, which is what this stitching box is based upon, the characters, the two lead characters especially, are obsessed with coffee, among other things, and it's a very rare episode, if any, where they don't talk about needing to drink coffee, or they don't have a scene where one of the characters is drinking a cup of coffee, or has a takeaway coffee cup in their hand, or anything along those lines. And so during the stitching retreat, I just assumed that someone had found a coffee cake recipe on the internet and decided to make a coffee cake as part of really getting into the mode and mood for doing this retreat and just reveling in the fandom of Gilmore Girls. So I am very much looking forward to making this cake, or at least getting the help of my boyfriend to do it. He, by trade, many moons ago, was a baker for a chain. The words will come to me later. Not Baker's Delight. Muffin Break. That's the wording. He was a baker for Muffin Break. That's a chain, at least in Australia, and so he does have the skills and everything to be able to make beautiful cakes. It's something that he's not always keen to do, so I may be able to get his help with this. So the next thing I want to show you is a necklace, and it may not show up very well. It's by Wick Wish, and it's going to be quite glary. So it's got I guess it's even difficult for me to see. The word embedded, an E word something, embossed. It's the icon of a very well-known establishment in the TV series called Luke's Diner. So it's the icon of a coffee mug on a saucer, and the word Luke's written in it. So I'm looking forward to wearing this. And then you also got a needle minder. And so this needle minder, it says, "This is the last time I buy anything just because it's furry." And so it's got cowboy boot and an alarm clock. So the story behind that is the very first episode of Gilmore Girls. Rory starts the fancy school, Chilton, and it's laundry day, and Lorelai, she ends up waking up late because her alarm clock did not purr on time. And it was a furry clock. She bought it because it was cute. And she ends up dressing up cowboy boots, short denim shorts, and a tie-dyed pink t-shirt. And not the most appropriate thing to wear if you're going to be meeting the school headmaster of a very prestigious fancy school. And that will be connected to my FFO that I'll show you later on. So this is really cool. This feels like it's made out of wood. It is nice. I'm looking forward to using this. This is going to be cool. So the next thing that came, and I actually got to choose the counter fabric and such. So this is hand-dyed 28 count casual linen. It's by Fibre on a Whim, and it is called Presenting Lorelai Gilmore. So, very glary, my apologies. So let's see, I'll try and dull the light. Let's see how we go with this. Yeah, okay, shadows are not my friend today. So it's about 20 to 6 or 5:42 in the afternoon. So shadows aren't going to be very nice to me today. And let's see if I can get this light back on. There we go. Okay, so I'm looking forward to trying this linen. I've been a bit cautious about stitching on linen. I've got another type of linen in my stash, and it's a bit of a fragile type of linen, for lack of better wording. And when I've sort of held it up, it's just because it to me is fragile or flimsy, it doesn't look straight. So I'm going to have to be careful with how I stitch on it and what I stitch on it. Things. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes, because what I could do is this next thing is a pattern that came in the kit, and it was actually designed by Catherine, or Katie, who is part of the Black Needle Society, and this is what she designed. I'm just going to dial this light again. Okay, so we don't have any glare happening too much. So it's Autumn in Stars Hollow, and this is what she designed, and it's got all of the key icons and key features that is all about Gilmore Girls. So we've got the skirt that is part of the children's school uniform. Actually, dial again. So we've got the Luke's cup, so that's what is embossed on the necklace, and the, I guess, typography or the font that is Luke's. And we've got the gazebo, we've got some of the old school buildings that make up the township of the town, Stars Hollow. So a lot of people were stitching on this pattern during the retreat, and it was just awesome seeing the progress and the stages that people were at during the if I could find my words, during the retreat. So that was pretty cool. So I was just checking the time, because on Sunday, when I had tried to record this Flosstube episode, I was tired, I was rambling a lot. I think the final time on the piece was nearly 50 minutes. The file size was huge. It was too big, and it took forever. It was going to take forever to load up, and it was just not worth the timing. So that's why I'm checking on my time. So the next thing, this is going to be a bit crinkle, so word of warning. So this is giant project bag. It's double-sided, and it says in omnia paratus. So if I really was a true Gilmore Girls fan, I really should remember what it means in English. So it's in Latin, but ultimately, to me it says, it's about if you jump, I jump, kind of thing. So it's a scene where Lorelai is initiated into a secret society that her boyfriend Logan is part of, and even though it's in plastic, this feels really nice and soft. This feels really cool. But a part of this in omnia apparatus, Rory and Logan and some of the secret society members, they jump off some very tall scaffolding. They've got the harnesses and everything connected up with umbrellas in hand, and they gracefully land on the ground. So we've also got Eat Like a Gilmore. Wow, the different types of food and the amount of food they eat, or theoretically eat, you never actually really see them eating much food. They just talk about eating a lot of food, which possibly is why the characters are so slim, or the actors are so slim in the first 7 seasons. So we've got a folder that actually keeps a whole heap. So I've just noticed the back of this. The artwork in the back, that's pretty cool as well. So we've got Luke in the checkered shirt, Dozy in, I guess, the lighter coloured top. And then we've got Kirk in the hot dog suit. All part of the quirks of the township. So with the Gilmore Girls, throughout the seasons, or throughout the series really, there are some key recipes or key drinks or beverages and food that really stood out throughout the season or series. So some of it included Emily's Bloody Mary. There's also the blueberry shortcake, the Rory, which is a cocktail drink in commemoration of her 21st birthday. There is also a recipe, and actually I'll open this up. There's also, because it's got recipe cards inside, so recipe cards for the Rory, Emily's Bloody Mary. There's also a recipe for Suki's famous risotto. There's also a recipe for deep fried turkey. Deep fried turkey. Oh, I don't know. I guess we've got deep fried chicken. Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC. I don't know. Something about deep fried turkey is just something a bit different. So there's also the stuffed squash flowers, or here in Australia known as stuffed pumpkin flowers. So there's also quite a lot of space for other recipe cards that can go in there. So yeah, good thing my boyfriend knows how to cook. I'm very, very lucky. We'll definitely need to test these things out as time goes on. So cool. Okay, so we also had some packaging for Al's Pancake World. The funny thing in the Gilmore Girls is that even though we actually never really, to the best of my knowledge, we never really see inside Al's Pancake World. We never meet Al. We never ever see any pancakes. Yet Al's Pancake World is known for trying any other cuisine under the sun except for pancakes. I think there might have been one week there where he does do pancakes, but it's almost like a running joke where he'll do Chinese food or Asian food, and he'll try lots of other types of cuisines, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. That said, what came in this packaging, it was really cool packaging, was some fancy floss. So I've never actually stitched with this, and this is also, so this is Colour and Cotton special. Oh, some of this is variegated. Sorry, I haven't properly looked at some of this floss. Oh goodness, so I'm holding on to this floss ring and such because this is a different other part of the gift box, but these colours actually go with a part of the pattern that Katie designed. So this also is a floss ring. I've never used a floss ring before, and the special thing about this tag as well is this is connected to the Dragonfly Inn, room number 7. And so the Dragonfly Inn is, I'll just see if I can bring this in so you can see a bit better. Yeah, it's okay, that's showing up fairly well. Oh, wow, oh, this is all cool. Okay, so these specialty threads, we've got the one that's variegated is called Hello Mary, and so these colours are in tribute to, I guess, the Chiltern colours, especially the uniform and the skirts and such that the girls wear. Then we've got, what else have we got? We have I'm All In, and we then got A Deer Hit Me. No, I didn't hit a deer. A deer hit me. Okay, so we then got 4:03 a.m., the time that Rory was born, and Copper Boom. Copper Boom. Oh dear. So Copper Boom was because Lorelai didn't properly hear what Rory was talking about, and she assumed Lorelai thought that Rory was saying Copper Boom, and so it's making me laugh because I mishear things quite a lot, and I at times, through having a tired brain, not being able to talk properly at times, I'll forget the names of things, so I'll make up my own words, or I've almost invented my own language to help put things into perspective, one holiday I did with my boyfriend down in Melbourne, we arrived at night time, so we actually got to see a lot of the city lights and everything, and we were catching an Uber from the airport to our accommodation, and we went over one of the bridges that from that bridge we got to see the Ferris wheel, that inside the Ferris wheel has the shape of a star. And because I couldn't remember the name of the word, or couldn't remember the words Ferris wheel, I said, "Oh, the star circle thingy!" And I was all excited about it because it looked really pretty. But it made my boyfriend laugh a lot, and it cracks me up quite a lot as well. But I couldn't remember the name Ferris wheel, and he goes, "Oh, you mean the Ferris wheel?" I said, "Yeah, star circle thingy." So as a result, we've trying to forget or trying to remember certain words, or we've forgotten certain words for the proper names of things. So it's like, oh, like the star circle thingy. It's like, yeah, the star circle thingy. So that's why I'm chuckling with the term copper boom. So the next things that came in the box are these pins. I'm gonna need to consult the book as to what these actually are. Okay, so I don't really know. I'm going to consult. So we've got, they're almost like your pin things that you can pin to your top or whichever. One says Jackson Belleville for town selectmen. So that's that one. Then the next one is the star sign or astrology sign, Scorpio. You'll meet an annoying woman today. Give her coffee and she'll go away. Ooh, sorry. So that's that. And the last one is called HAED Alien, which is the name of a band that Lane is part of. I really am curious about these things in terms of what they are. I really don't know. I'm going to have to look into this. So that's the back of them. I don't know. I'll need to look into it. Okay. Sorry, things are falling. So this was a bag that some of the stuff came in. This bag feels really cool. I love the colours of it. I'm also inclined to think that I want to stitch something on it. I don't know. It's like a Hessian kind of bag, but it also makes me think that it's offcuts of some linen. I don't know. It looks cool. So the next thing is a bookmark. Oh, this is a beautiful bookmark. It is sturdy. It is beautiful. It is pretty. Okay, so this is one side of the bookmark. So it's a painting, a picture of a picture, painting of Rory reading a book, inspired by a scene an episode of Gilmore Girls. And then this is the other side of it. Again, this is absolutely awesome. This is really cool. And I love reading books as well, like real books, like paper books, not off a Kindle or anything. So I'm just taking a closer look at, well done, ladies. You have done an awesome job with this. Okay, so this is an envelope. So decided I'm actually kind of curious as to how I'm going to use these. So these are stickers. They're all the same stickers, and these are stickers to do with I guess they're project stickers. So it was this is where I'll be able to write on it to say, okay, what the name of the project is that I stitched, who the designer was, the fabric that was used, the thread. So for example, it could be cottage garden threads, or it could have been colour and cotton, DMC, anchor, or anything in between. And then spaces to say when I started the project, when I finished it, and who stitched it. So this is something that could be really special if you frame a project. You can put the sticker on the back of the project, something along those lines. Whichever way works, it's all good. Okay, so that was pretty much it for the stitchy blocks. Well done, Liz. Wow, that was cool. So this particular stitching retreat, it was based, as I've mentioned, on the Gilmore Girls, and it was also based on the actual seasons like summer, autumn, winter, spring. So this particular box retreat, was all based on the season of autumn or fall, which is, I guess, why we're seeing lots of oranges, browns, greys, and all of those warmy seasonal kind of colours. And so what also, I keep looking at the box just around stuff. So with this digital online stitching retreat, we had a lot of stitching challenges that were connected to episodes throughout the series that had a strong impact or influenced by the season autumn. And it was really cool. And so leading up to the retreat, we did get certain prompts and all the rest in preparation for what was going to happen, because that way we could get our projects organised for which things we're going to participate in and all the rest. And also with the way the challenges worked, we would know that, say, from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Would be focusing on a particular challenge, and about 10 minutes before that challenge we would be given a password that would relate to that challenge or the episode that that inspired the challenge, and we would need to write down the name of the project that we would be working on for that challenge, the password, and we would take a photo of that project just to show what it looked like before. And then at the end of the hour, we would count up how many stitches we've done on that project. We would then write down on the same piece of paper that has the password and name of the project on it how many stitches we did. We would then post those photos onto related social media that would say as to I'm losing my words. It's getting close to dinner time, so I'm going to have to wrap this up soon. So we would have it related to the challenge. Our names would then go into a draw, and would then have a town hall meeting that would go for about 45 minutes. And with the way the names are drawn and all the rest, there was like a lucky div. And so sometimes it would be a lucky dip connected to a range of stitches that people completed during that challenge. And what has blown me away is how fast some people stitch because of the two-handed method. So some people were able, within the space of an hour, get somewhere between 200 and over 300 stitches in. That blows my mind. The people who are able to do that, you amaze me, and I would love to be able to learn how to do that in terms of the two-handed stitching, because I think it could be interesting. It would make some of my projects go a lot quicker, especially the full coverage projects and the large ones from Heaven and Earth Designs and from Hot Cross Stitching. Both companies or businesses produce beautiful patterns, but they're very detailed, and I think that's probably part of what I love about them. But being able to do the two-handed stitching to get a lot done, it would mean a little more progress would be done. But I'm a process stitcher, so I love the process of the stitching. That said, I need to move on. I'm rambling a bit. So one of the prompts for one of the first challenges was to do with the first episode of the Gilmore Girls of the series, and it was to do with Laundry Day, which was where this needle minder was inspired by, kicked in. So with Laundry Day, I was required to stitch on something that showed that people were wearing clothes. And so for a long time, I've been, since 2019, I've been stitching on this project. And this one I've dubbed for a while, Ryan's Been a Good Boy. And the full wording for this is, Ryan's been a good boy, Santa. And this particular pattern is designed by Durene Jones, and it's from the book called Ultimate Cross Stitch Christmas. I think it is from the year 2018, issue 19 by memory. And so I've used all of the called for colours, DMC. I've stitched this on 14 count Ada, and the extra special thing with this fabric is that it's printed fabric. So on the side that we're seeing right now, it's actually got a printed green marble kind of look about it. And yeah, I guess the other side of the Ada is just plain pale green. And yeah, it's actually turned out pretty well. I'm actually really surprised by how well what turned out. So on the back of it, it's just got, I guess this lime green, palish green quilting fabric that I picked up from Lincraft. And just to give this a bit of sturdiness and support, I've got 2 layers of calico fabric, and I used a sewing machine to join the edges together, and I initially sewed it inside out for 3 of the sides, and then also using the sewing machine to ensure that this ribbon that says Made with Love, that I got from Lincraft as well, was secure and sturdy. And I then used the sewing machine to try and sew along the edge here just to secure it all. And I'm really happy with how this has turned out, and as long as I don't look too closely at this, it's going to be okay. So this is for my nephew. His birthday is towards the end of October, and so my aim is to hopefully get this to him at some point, some stage. Canberra's in lockdown at the moment, so we're not too sure how things will go, but I'm hoping that come October, things will be a little bit better. Okay, so that's my FFO, and so the next thing I have to show you is a new start, and this is connected to another prompt that happened for another challenge in the session, in the online retreat, and this one was to do with stitching something that has an elephant in it. Okay, so I am stitching a Biscornu. So this is called Elephant Biscornu by Tiny Modernist, and I've been eyeing this off for a little while now, and I've decided to stitch this on 32 count linen. It's hand dyed, and it is beautiful, beautiful fabric. And so I'm just showing you, I guess, the right side up, or whichever way. So yeah, I've had fun so far stitching this, but at the moment the elephant is actually stitching the upside down part of the pattern. So yeah, it's going to work out quite well. I'm really happy with how the colours are working on this pink, because initially I was a bit worried that some of the pinks of the flowers were going to blend in too much with the fabric, but it's turning out really well. Okay, so the next one I have to show you is this one. So this next prompt or challenge was connected to stitching something that has time in it, or the word time, as in TIME. And so this is a Heaven and Earth design, and it's called A Stitch in Time. It's one of their bookshelf series, A Stitch in Time, and I'm stitching this on, I think it's 25 or 28 count easy grid or easy count fabric, and I have fallen in love with this type of fabric. I'm a cross-country stitcher, and I can totally understand why people do the extreme cross-country stitching, because the fabric and the use of pattern keeper really lends itself to doing that kind of method. And I love the colours in this, and I've had a hard time putting this down because I'm actually also wanting to work on another project that is coming up very soon. So yeah, I'm loving this. I'm using all of the called for colours DMC. I'm stitching it 1/1. Okay, so the next one I'm working on is this. Now hopefully I'll hold this up around the right way. So okay, so I can't remember. I think it goes this way. So the reason why I'm getting myself all confused about which way I need to hold this up is because this is a hot cross stitching design, and the way it's loaded into Pattern Keeper, and I guess the way that's even if I printed the pattern, it will come out in landscape, but it needs to be in portrait. So I'm stitching this 1/1, and this one is called the Blue Mountains Walking Trail. And yeah, this one, the prompt with this one was to stitch something with a body of water in it. And at the moment, there's no body of water, but later on in the picture, we'll eventually see that there's a bit of a waterfall thing in it. So I'm just watching some things on a desk next to me slide away. So I'm really happy with how this is coming along. So I'm stitching this on, I think it's 25 or 28 easy count fabric, and the pink grids are actually 20 by 20 squares rather than the 10 by 10 that we see on this fabric. So I'm still enjoying this. This is cool. I've just got to remember that this is 20 by 20 with the pink squares. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you is another project that I've been working on, and this was also something that tied in to one of the last prompts of this stitching weekend. So I have been working on Fight Like a Girl. It's been designed by Tanya, Amity, and it's the illustration is by Elena Zhnedkova. And yeah, this one I really enjoy, because the theme for this was to stitch on something that was connected to something that's got books in it, not books. A movie that's been based upon a book. And so with this particular project, it's definitely got a lot of books in it, and the theme of Fight Like a Girl is it highlights a lot of the strong female characters that are in books that have been turned into movies. So we've got the likes of Peter Pan, and we've got, I'd say, Tinkerbell in Peter Pan. We've got, who else? I'm just going to look back at the cover sheet. So we've got the likes of, I guess, the good witches and such, from different books. Wording will come to me. So we've also got the likes of The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, and the female characters in there. We've got The Wizard of Oz, and the Ruby Slippers. We've got Pippi Longstockings, and yeah, all those sorts of books. So I've struggled a little bit again with this particular project where I had lost a part of the pattern that I was working off, and so I reprinted a part of the pattern, and I've had a lot of fun trying to mark off where I've already stitched, but also figure out where I haven't stitched. So I have focused on, I guess we can see my fingers here, I've finished stitching there a bit. I've also done a bit of stitching down where I think we've got Alice leaning up against one of the books as well. So yeah, I've set this aside a little bit for a little bit. I will get my mojo back for it. So that's pretty much it for me now, and I'm really hoping that all goes well. And I haven't rambled as much this time. I did enjoy the international stitching retreat though. I did enjoy being part of some of the Facebook stitching groups where I didn't talk too much because there were times where I was just focusing on what I was stitching, and there were times where I couldn't really contribute much to the conversations. I did enjoy hearing about life in America for some people in terms of the climates that you're experiencing with summer and humidity in some cases, or dry desert heat in other locations. Here in Australia, we are coming out of winter and we're going to slowly ease into spring. It's going to be an interesting spring considering it's been a wet summer, a wet-ish winter, a very windy winter. So it could mean that the plants are going to be pretty active with their releases of pollen. I get hay fever, so this is why I'm sounding a bit cautious, but it's also because of the current situation where we are all experiencing. So it will be interesting. So hopefully all goes well. I am hoping that with the next stitching retreat that I participate in, especially if it's going to be an international one, I'm hoping that my life will be a little bit different there, where I can hopefully participate a little bit more. So with this particular retreat, it was based on American Central Time, and the area of Australia I live in means that my time zone is 10 hours ahead of American Central Time. So if it's 9 a.m. Central American Time, it will be roughly midnight, 1 a.m. the next day in Australia. So if it's 9 a.m. on a Thursday, it'll be sort of midnight, 1 a.m. for Thursday, Friday morning. So that's been, that made it interesting. So I was only able to participate a little bit. I was also working on Thursday and Friday, so it'll be okay. I know that with these kind of stitching retreats, it's never easy to try and make it work. So the aim is to try and do what works for you. That's what I've learned. And it was still fun. It was still awesome. It was still really cool. And it was just great being able to stitch away with a lot of people, and especially with the current environment, what we are experiencing, and and learning to live with it all. I'm hoping that we get to do some more of these sorts of things. So I'm going to finish off here. I have been talking quite a bit, and it's dinner time for me, and I'm hungry. I would really like to get some dinner. So I'm going to catch you all later, and hopefully I'll see you all in about 2 weeks, and I'll hopefully have a lot more stitching for you. Until next time, see ya.